welcome to Touching Tornadoes. My name is Conrad. How are you, buddy? Sorry, just noticed a bunch of men holding up signs for car washes. Usually, you have better luck if better looking ladies or better looking men even hold up a sign. Roll that up. Sorry about that. So I'm a little bit. Anyways, this is Touching Tornadoes, Life with the Bipolar Mind. My name is Conrad. I have been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, type 1, and I am currently, like, as of recording, mm, I'd say, what is today? September 29th, 2025, the year of our Lord. I am pretty much getting back to stable. I had another episode of mania, and so it's been, as I've been coming down, it's been fun. I mean, I feel like at least this time I knew where I was at, or you know what I mean, like what was going on, that it was a problem. And that's the weirdest thing is like, sorry, there's a couple of motorcycles. Okay, it's loud. The weirdest thing about the disorder is like when you first get the disorder, you don't even believe it's real. Like, not like you're in shock and like, oh my god, not me. That's not what I mean by not believe it's real. Like, you think like you're in control over it. And so the problem is, dog, like the more you go, at least for me, I found that, you know, the last episode made me realize I had no control over it. And then by the only control I have over the disorder is the control I have before an episode starts. Once I'm in it, I don't know how much control I have getting in and out of it. And that's the weirdest part. And I don't really want to know anymore. I'd rather not ever have another episode. But now I'm in the weird place of finding, what my baseline is. And that's the tough part. Let me turn fucking air conditioner on. It should be 70, but it to be that. So I just did brain mapping last, I guess it was on Friday, and it's a EEG is what that is. And hopefully, I guess the idea is that it will monitor the activity within my brain, and somebody who's skilled enough, a doctor who's skilled enough to read the EEG will tell me, if I have any, maybe like things that need to be looked at further, if there's any medication changes that can be made based on what they read. And beyond that, I'm not exactly sure what an EEG does. Um, they called it brain mapping. They're going to figure out how my brain works. And it wasn't, I had no idea. It was a simple process. It took a couple hours long, and it was painless, but it was kind of, long. You get that kind of thing going on. And I had real trouble sitting still during some parts of it, but was able to get through it. And I'm looking forward, I guess it's tomorrow at 4 p.m. is when I'll find out the results of that and what they mean. So I haven't got like a frantic call from somebody telling me that I have a tumor or something. Thank God. But I don't know, you know, yet. I'm not putting that out. Knock on wood. I guess, at this point, had so many different changes happen, like, throughout my past few years. Because you got to remember, I was a late diagnosis. So I didn't realize that I didn't get diagnosed with bipolar until I was like 36 or 37. That's my first episode. Happened when I was like 35, 36. And so I'm new to this whole thing. And because of that, yo, what's up? Hello. I don't know. I don't know your name, Spat Hack. What's going on, brother? Or sister. But within the time period that I've been diagnosed in now, all I've tried to do is, learn as much as I can't say as much as I can. I could have learned a lot more. I've tried to learn as much as I can while also trying to like find out who I really am. Because one thing that this stupid ass disorder does is cut your knees out from under you, dude. Like it takes your identity away for a while. Not just because you become somebody who has a lifelong disorder or whatever, has a serious mental health disorder, but another thing that it does is when you go from being manic back to baseline, if you like, for me, I don't know where baseline is. You know what I mean? I mean, people are like, what do you mean you don't know? Well, there's different kinds of hypomania, mania, like there's these different stages of mania, and I know that I've fallen within a lot of these. So yeah, dog, I said hi, so that's good. I'm glad I could do that. Anyways, it just sucks because I'm searching for something I don't know when the last time I found it is, and that's baseline. I thought I'd found baseline once I had my first episode of mania and I got back down, but I sank into like this huge depression, and that was my first real depression. And that happened when I was 36 also, as a bipolar depression. And I was that's when I got suicidal, and it was like they call it suicidal ideation, but it was a real that was scary. And I don't know what's scarier. I've tried to explain it to people who are willing to listen that, you know, the mania that you feel when you get ticked up, it's, I could say that there's the euphoria within it, but mine puts me in such scary situations that when I get out of mania, I'm like, have PTSD from what I just put myself through, if that makes sense. So, and I'm ridiculous. I just turned onto a dirt road with a bunch of bumps on it when I'm doing a show. So if it gets bouncy, I'm sorry. That's my bad. If it gets too bouncy, I'll just turn the son bitch off. So, anyways, I'll try to stay off the washboards of this road. I just washed my truck too. Why am I going to do this? Old habits. So I'm trying to find my baseline, and that's a little bit about what I wanted to talk to you about today, because I don't have the results from my brain mapping yet, and I don't really want to talk to you about what I've been doing this morning because I've been dealing with the T-Mobile store. And if you've ever dealt with cell phone companies, you can imagine, you know, why bring that up? Like, why even talk about that? So the only thing I was going to talk to you about is like what I'm on, and kind of some of the side effects, either of the disorder. It's either going to be the side effects of the disorder, or it's going to be the side effects of the medication I'm on. You know what I'm saying? It's either symptoms or side effects, and I don't know. And so what I was going to say is, lately, I get really tired. You know what I'm saying? Uh, like almost, if I get home at 6:30 in the evening, I'm ready to go to bed by 7:30. If I eat, I'm ready to go to bed by 7:30. And I don't know if it's a symptom of I was in such a state of mania that now that I'm finally coming down, and I'm talking I'm a month and a half, 2 months removed from this mania I had that started at the beginning of August and lasted a couple of weeks there. It's still taken me this long to tick down, or if it's taken this long for the medication to kick in, and I'm starting to feel side effects of it, and that's what this big tiredness is, and I don't know. So that one's kind of concerning, because one of the ways that I've combated my bipolar symptoms. My bipolar is through exercise, and so what happens is I go out on my run, and I'm assuming like my run's going to be normal, and I can get out there and just do what I've always done and run 5 miles. I've got myself to where running 5 miles a day is part of my routine. That's part of my everyday routine. Well, lately, I can't even really get through a mile without being exhausted. And so I'll have to walk either the next mile or two or walk home. That's what I did today. It's like I just got my mile and then turned around and walked home. And the shitty part is a lot of it's like half of it is this desire that's gone inside of me to do it, and half of it is like just that effort part that you want to put into something. That thing's gone. I guess that's the desire. You know what I mean? It's like everything seems overwhelming to me right now. And so that's concerning. And I don't know if that's a symptom. To me, it's a side effect of the Abilify that I'm on. That's what they have me on. And they can have people on, and I'm on an off brand of that. So whatever I'm on doesn't mean it's going to work for anybody else. It doesn't even mean it's going to have the same side effects. So it doesn't even matter. But I just know for me, the last time that I had taken this medication, I did feel the same thing. Like I get wore out way easier than ever before. So that's the biggest thing I'm concerned about right now is, you know, my endurance. It's not that I haven't been building up. It's that if the desire goes away, that's if you've ever been somebody that exercises, the hardest part is going to the gym. Well, it's like double hard now or triple hard. The idea for me to run 5 miles, although I was doing it every day for years, building up, it just seems like, sorry again about the shaky camera. I can kind of hold it. I'm on a effing dirt road. I'm getting ready to get off of it. So, should smooth out relatively quickly here. Yeah. I don't know if but to me, the last time I took Abilify and this time, both times has resulted in